Mavs versus OKC was a sign of what's to come.
Jalen Williams, and that is a block shot by Cooper Flag.
Let's go. From the weak side, I like that.
Cooper Flag, Dallas's hope for the future against OKC's championship DNA. For us basketball sickos, it don't matter. Summer League, EuroLeague, preseason, we're on it like white on rice. The following is a breakdown of this game and the warning shot that Cooper sent to the rest of the league. My fellow GOATs, every weekend the house wins. You know it. I know it. They shave the odds, they lock your account, they make sure you lose in the long run. But what if you didn't have to play against the house at all? Well, you don't have to anymore. With ProfitX, America's #1 sports prediction market, it looks and feels just like a sports book. But you're playing peer-to-peer against other fans, not the house. That means way better odds on every spread, money line, total, and even player props. Think about this. On a sports book, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown might be locked at -176, but on ProfitX, you can slide it to -168, -150, even -140 if you want. If another fan grabs the other side, your trade goes through. That's better odds, better payouts every single week. Those edges add up fast. Sign up to ProfitX today with my code GOAT, and you'll get $200 back in profit cash on your plays during your first 30 days. Stop letting the house stack the deck against you. Play against real fans. Play with the best odds in the game. ProfitX, America's #1 sports prediction market. Cooper Flag opened the game up with a big-time block.
Jalen Williams, and that is a block shot by Cooper Flag.
Let's go. From the weak side, I like that.
Leading to a lob for AD to get the preseason started off for the Mavs.
And running a floor, AD finishes from D-Lo.
A quick answer from the Thunder came, as Barnhizer split 2 defenders and easily laid it up. Klay Thompson's drive and kick forced OKC into a scramble, where the Mavs' great ball movement let Flag get downhill, drawing all the attention and leaving Derek Lively open for another jam. The quick cuts from Dallas allowed for their incredible perimeter ball movement to continue, leaving the brow open from downtown.
Been a willing passer in the first few minutes of this game as Davis hits a three.
Good penetration, good ball movement.
Contrary to AD's activity on the other end, he got caught sleeping defensively, and Isaiah Joe made him pay. Then Coach Degno called up back screens for multiple players, forcing the Mavericks to switch around. The Mavs' miscommunication forced Dwight Powell to recover late, and Joe got downhill, which forced Cooper to help, leaving J-Dub open.
The best by a team in the regular season in the history of the NBA. They outscored teams as the Thunder lead for the first time tonight.
The Thunder's run continued with a textbook pin-in on a sleeping Anthony Davis, which left Usman open for 3.
Not let him get to that sweet spot. Usman Jane from the outside.
The Thunder must have heard about the main event because he drew a triple team and found Dwight Powell for back-to-back dunks.
Good defender in Casey Wallace, and Powell is there, cutting off the ball, as we know the veteran Dwight Powell can do so well.
On the next possession, Jalen Williams' ball screen forced Powell onto Casey Wallace, who took no time with a quick cross and high finish.
That is a take by Casey Wallace going to right at the big man. That's going to make Michael cry.
Of course, Dwight Flight took off before everyone as he slapped out an offensive rebound to Max Christie and found another board for the and one.
The leading scorer in the first quarter for the Mavericks right now is Dwight Powell. He's also the leading rebounder.
When Christie saw how high Chris Youngblood was filling the gap on D'Lo, he countered with a back cut into an open lane. D'Angelo Russell's inverted ball screen forced heavy drop coverage from Jazian Gortman, leaving the pop wide open. On the other end, Gortman had no need for Wallace's ball screen, as he took Max Christie right to the paint and hit a floater before he could get a hand up. The last 2 minutes were filled with free throws, leaving the Mavericks up 29-20 after 1. After a first quarter that saw Dallas's starters take the lead against OKC's 2-way contracts. The second quarter was sure to provide more of a first look at the #1 pick, Cooper Flag. Opening up the quarter, the Mavs let their big man Lively space out, which gave room for Christie to get a wide open back door. Continuing to take advantage of their mismatches, AD backed down Barnhizer to get space for the turnaround 2.
Hartenstein and Holmgren a lot during the playoffs as Davis hits the turnaround jump shot late in the shot clock.
Struggling to get something to fall, OKC attacked the offensive glass, which allowed Barnhizer to tip it out to Austin for 3.
Wow.
And it is launched to the rim to get it on the rim and avoid a shot clock violation. And they come away with 3 points out of all of that.
After another turnover by OKC, D'Lo led the break, and by looking away, he shifted the defense to get Lively the ball for an open dunk.
Russell just went to the free throw line, finds and you hear these rims at Dickey's Arena when someone throws it down.
Needing to get something going, Coach Dagno ran a pitch and screen with Dieng and Williams, and with AD in drop coverage, Williams got the floater to go. However, OKC stayed asleep on defense, so Christie had an easy hit ahead for a splash bro who was open for 3.
That's a 3 made by Klay Thompson from the corner.
The Thunder continued to struggle, having lost the ball again, which Christie found in transition for another layup. By using a flow offense, Coach Kidd was able to make OKC scramble on defense, which gave Washington the step for the bucket. Coop was able to show his full skill arsenal as he took the rebound the length of the court, and with Coop's gravity, Washington was able to back cut his man for the and one.
Black runs up the floor, goes to PJ for a finish and a foul.
That's a simple play, but it's the right play as well.
OKC was still sleeping on defense, as Flagg got the first step on his man on the sideline to get an easy layup.
Very nice to see that, by the way, Coach. The first NBA preseason points for Cooper Flagg.
Finally getting something to go, OKC used the DHO role to draw the defense inside, which gave Youngblood space to hit the 3. Coop wanted to keep his momentum going, so he called for a ball screen, which got him a switch to a smaller defender, and he was able to pull up for 3.
Moved up with the lottery, and now we'll see Flagg shoot it, knocked down, and 3-pointer. There we go. And then all of a sudden, good things started happening.
With OKC having resorted to a 3-2 zone, the Mavs used their chemistry to move the ball from one side to another without a dribble, giving Hardy an open 3. Having an advantage with momentum and strength, Washington got downhill and bumped Dieng out of the way for an easy 2. Needing to find a way to score, Barnhizer started working on Coop and used a turnaround move to get space for the jumper. But Coop didn't have any of that, and with Barnhizer dying on the AD ball screen, Flagg found the bottom of the net for 3.
He has come from Washington State, kind of an under-recruited guy, and he kind of blossomed and took off after that.
Well, Flagg has come to life here with 10 points.
OKC needed to get a stop, so Isaiah Joe played aggressive to keep Klay from getting to the 3, but Klay backed up for another layup. However, they finally opened up the offense again, with Williams and Joe using the give and go, and with the Mavs protecting the paint, Williams hit the 3. With the Mavs having turned it over and jogging back, OKC had an advantage on offense, so Dieng found Williams for the hit ahead 3.
The things that we were good at.
The Mavs really extended their control of the game in the second as they went into halftime up by 26. Dwight Powell opened up the second half by continuing his impact with a big block, but a defensive miscommunication left Jalen Williams with a wide open 3. In the Mavs' early offense, PJ Washington cleared out, letting Najee Marshall take the dribble handoff from Powell and drive into an overhelping Cason Wallace, which left Jaden Hardy wide open on the wing. Off the Hardy miss, Jay Will threw a dart down the court to Dieng, who finished with a physical high-gather Euro step.
It's a contested shot. Ousmane Dieng trying to go at Hardy. Defense coming back, and Ousmane Dieng just swings it right through and scores.
Then Pistol showed Barnhizer what the weight room is about before finishing the easy floater. After that, Musa let his presence be known as he screened and slipped right into a lackadaisical Williams. Cason Wallace found himself in a mismatch with Sissy and took advantage of it with a mean step back.
Wallace off the deck, the pull-up 3.
Dieng then refused the screen from J-Will and got right downhill, where he used his size to get the and one over Max Christie.
Over, but there is a drive and finish and a foul for Ousmane Dieng.
Cason gave just enough time for Williams to get down the court, but not enough time for Washington to get back, allowing Barnhizer to convert the 5-on-4. Musa Cisse continued to put the league on notice with an unbelievable across-the-paint block.
Oh, wow. Musa Cisse inside. Hello.
On the next possession, because Jalen Williams was more worried about the mismatch underneath, he left just enough space for Miles Kelly to get off a shot. It was a block party in Fort Worth.
2 years Mavs with the Pelicans. Another block by Cisse, and the shot goes up and rolls out.
Gortman needed no help with a mismatched Musa on him, continuing what he did in the G League last season. With Leon's quick slip screen leaving the Mavs in panic mode, Hardy flew by on the pump fake, which opened up the easy layup. Oklahoma City refused to give up, with Gortman coming up with the steal and Austin cleaning it up to cut the Dallas lead to 13. However, the Hardy party put a quick end to those hopes as he made Malavi Leon show off his dance moves. The third quarter had a lot of young players showing out, but Dallas held a lead of 82-66 regardless. As the game headed into the last quarter, Dallas fans were getting a good look at the players that round out their roster as the Mavs had a commanding lead. With everyone collapsed onto the ball on the baseline, Robinson Earl found a lane to cut for the open mid-range. After the OKC pick and roll, Kelly found himself tagging up the roller down low, which caused him to have a late closeout for the Zach Austin 3. As Robinson Earl cut to the other side of the court, he brought two defenders with him, which gave Hardy room for 3. OKC was able to get into the paint. The Mavs defense started to collapse and Youngblood was left open for the corner 3.
Well, with that, we now have a timeout called by the Mavericks with 8:36 left of the fourth quarter.
But the Thunder's momentum was halted as Robinson Earl got the run out in transition after the turnover, and even though he got hacked, he finished the and one.
Here's Robinson Earl off a turnover scoring.
Even though he spent most of the game on the bench, Nembhard hit the floor with swagger as he stepped into a deep range 3.
Regular season, as Nembhard nails a three-pointer.
But OKC wasn't giving up, as Gortman used his shiftiness to get across the paint away from help defense before rising up for the fadeaway. As they continued to chip away, Barnhizer got a mid-range ball screen, and even though he was draped by his defender, he got the bounce on the hook for the and one.
Oh, nice move, Barnhizer.
Cisse pulled into the middle of the paint to be ready to help on the pick and roll, but that made him close out late to Leons, who knocked it down. Coming off the ball screen, Nembhard found himself guarded by the bigger Leons, but he used his quickness and footwork to counter Leon's momentum for the turnaround too.
And Leon, the native of the Netherlands, switched onto it, but still able to score.
As the defense collapsed on Nembhard's drive, Cleveland was able to drive down, countering the defense's momentum to finish at the rim. As he continued to make the most of his minutes, Cleveland corralled the O-board, and his teammates rewarded him with the extra pass to get him an open 3.
He's just patient. He lets the game come to him. He competes.
Rejecting the ball screen, Dieng caught Cisse guarding him on the perimeter, and he used a pullback cross to create separation for the mid-range. As OKC turned it over again, the Mavs ran out for one last exclamation as Cleveland threw the lob for the Cisse jam.
Exclamation point on what I have to say.
The Mavericks took care of business at the Dickies Arena, finishing with a dominant 106-89 win. Anyways, GOATs, this season I've decided to start putting some of you in my videos. This is your chance to rep your team, react to the biggest moments, and even start growing your own following. I'm calling it the GOATed NBA Reaction Squad. If you'd like to be a part of it, please fill out the Google form that I have in the description of this video. Thank you, and good luck. And don't feel intimidated, guys. This will be low effort, low stress, but very fun.